Hey guys, welcome back to another Ginger Ninja gaming video, and today you guys know what time it is. It's time for part 1 of the next part of my story. We going to 2027, baby. Hopefully you guys, you have been paying attention to my story. If you've just skipped to this one and you've skipped past about 2025 and 2026, you probably have no idea what's going on, but that's okay. You'll tag along for the ride if you want. But otherwise, let's get straight into it. We got 2027. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you with say the Royal Rumble coming up. I haven't actually put the participants list. I just know who I want to win the Rumble for the men's and women's. So I've kind of skipped that over. I'm sorry guys with this one. The Royal Rumble is gonna be a lot quicker of a BLE, but that means the video is gonna be shorter because we know we can get straight into the main event storylines that are gonna do so good at WrestleMania. So let's get into 2027. Like I kind of said in 2026, 2026 was a lot more in depth than this year and future years. So I do apologize. But 2026 took just a bit more extra time to make, and so I was really like wanting to move on with 2027. And so we're gonna start off with Monday Night Raw Day One. I'm not going over all the Raws and all the Smackdowns, just some of the important stuff. So let's start it off right. Are we going with something big? So Cody Rhodes, obviously one half of the World Tag Team Champs, is still appearing. Cody Rhodes is really good. He's a heel, but like Cody Rhodes as a person, he's like regular weekly shows. Brock Lesnar, I don't know. I just have him doing his hiatus, whatever. He's off doing something else at the moment. Just like how we had that Cody versus Chad Gable mini feud late last year. Brock Lesnar's off doing something for that couple of weeks. And on Raw, Cody starts to regain consciousness and realizes that he needs to be the hero of the fans and he wants to become a babyface again. And he misses it. And this all happens because one day, I don't know, Cody Rhodes moves out of the way without even realizing, moves out of the way for a backstage person, and they actually thank Cody. And that one thank you from that random ass backstage person is like, holy crap. Cody's like, holy crap, I haven't been thanked in like 2 years. I missed this. I, I missed this. What the hell? And Cody Rhodes gets put with a difficult position. Now Cody Rhodes, we start to see this babyface, and now Cody Rhodes realizes that he wants the fans to love him again and to be a babyface again and to be a good hero. And he realizes that's what he needs to be. And so here's the thing. But he's in a tag team. Not only is he in a tag team but he's also tag team champions with the scariest guy on the roster. And remember, the whole reason why Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar teamed up in the first place is because Brock Lesnar, returned, and he was like, Cody Rhodes was the only one to greet him. So, they're together, and Cody Rhodes is scared to leave him. And so what happens in the ring is Cody Rhodes does now listen to this. Cody Rhodes is a heel, right? Cody Rhodes does a babyface turn by doing a heel move to a heel. So Cody Rhodes does a heel move to a heel to make him a babyface by being a heel, because Brock Lesnar and Cody have been really kind to each other because they're tag team champions. Brock Lesnar's only friend and ally is Cody Rhodes in this company, only friend. And Cody Rhodes doesn't know how to talk to Brock, say, look, we need to be good, or I want to be good. Cody Rhodes just stabs Brock in the back and just attacks him with backstabs Brock by giving him a low blow, making Brock Lesnar emotional and having to leave injured. Cody gives Brock a low blow and injures him with a steel chair a bit, and Brock is on his way injured and he's upset. He's like, my best friend's just done this. So this is Cody Rhodes turning heel as a heel, but trying to be a babyface. But because of this, Cody's like, look, this is what will probably also make me look like a babyface. Not just attacking the heel, not just cementing myself as a babyface, but also I'm putting the tag team titles up for grabs. So they're up for grabs at the Elimination Chamber. Also, on that Raw, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Dakota Kai for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton retains because remember, the Mean Girls are feuding with Damage Control, and so they're each having a crack at Tiffy for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We have a match, Jada Parker versus Asuka for a tag team title match opportunity with Kiana James as a special guest referee. This is a big, interesting match. So obviously Jada Parker and Kiana James are a tag team, and the Kabuki Warriors are the tag team champs. And Jada Parker's been feuding with Damage Control and us, and Kiana James is kind of like not wanting to deal with them as like fight them. And Jada's like, look, they have the gold. We want the tag team gold back. And so what happens is like, look, they have their there's a tag team contendership match. So if Jada Parker beats Asuka in a singles match, then Jada Parker and Kiana James get a tag team opportunity, tag team title opportunity against the Kabuki Warriors. And Kiana James like, fine, I guess I'll be a part of this because, you know, even though Kiana James doesn't want anything to do with the tag team titles, even though they're a tag team. So Kiana James is the special guest referee. You know, she'll probably look hot in a special guest referee outfit. And we have a winner is Asuka because in the match, Kiana lets Asuka beat the hell out of Jada with a kendo stick, and Kiana, as a special guest referee, doesn't say disqualification or anything. And this is Kiana James's heel turn against Jada Parker. You know, Jada Parker and Kiana James were a tag team throughout all of 2025. You know, working together, had one at WrestleMania, one at SummerSlam, had the tag team titles for a little bit. And Kiana's like, nah, she's a heel, and she lets the Kabuki Warriors just beat the hell out of her. And Asuka wins, and so then, therefore, Asuka and Kairi don't have to defend their women's tag team titles. The following week on Raw, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Io Sky for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton retains. And then there's the Royal Rumble PLE. So let's get straight into it. Like I said, I apologize. I really apologize. I promise you guys, for future Royal Rumbles, I've done like the, you know, the participant list or whatever. But for this one, I've just, like I said, it doesn't really matter. Just do 10 entrants. I don't know. Let me go. Where's Royal Rumble? You ready to rumble? Okay. So the opening match is the Women's Royal Rumble, and the winner I have here. So I feel really bad doing this, guys, but at this point in time, I couldn't think of a list, and anyway, I'm sorry, but so we have Zelina Vega win the Women's Royal Rumble, which is huge. You know, she had like I said, and if you guys remember, I'm trying to give Zelina Vega a big push. In 2026, I had her be the Women's Intercontinental Champion. I had her have not only a massive reign, but go against massive superstars to really put her over. But not even just that, but just make the Intercontinental Championship popular and a big deal, and make Zelina Vega a big deal. And that was the lead up to this. Zelina Vega's Royal Rumble win. So Zelina Vega wins the Women's Royal Rumble. Next up is a championship match for the Men's WWE Championship. We have a continuation of a feud that happened at pardon me, I'm about to burp accidentally. At Saturday night's main event 2026, we had Drew McIntyre go against the champ LA Knight, because Drew was annoyed at LA Knight because of their constant losings at franchise wars and war games. And so we had Drew versus LA Knight in a standard WWE Championship match at Saturday night's main event, and LA Knight retained, but Drew wanted more. This is Drew, like, just like even current Drew in the real world. That's not Drew McIntyre to just give up like that. He's got to have at least another crack. And Drew's serious. He seriously wants his title. He attacks LA Knight backstage, whatever. And they have a TLC match for the WWE Championship match. WWE Championship, kind of like how Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens had a ladder match for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble 2025, one of the best matches of the year. And so this match is brutal, but it's not just ladders, it's tables and chairs. This is TLC, so we have ladders, tables, chairs, and it's brutal. Ladders being thrown around, DDTs, just brutal. Um, and here's what happens: LA Knight Drew gets LA Knight stuck in a corner, and he uses the ladders to trap him there. LA Knight is still conscious, but he can't get out because Drew's just trapped him with all these ladders and tables and chairs, literally like piling them around LA Knight, and LA Knight's stuck in the corner of the ring. And LA Knight has to watch as Drew McIntyre climbs up the ring and gets the WWE Championship belt. LA Knight is not defeated in this. LA Knight is only, he's injured, but he's just stuck. He's not defeated, not taken out, not lost. But Drew McIntyre was somehow smart and trapped him with the ladders going between the ropes and just a ton of ladders, ton of chairs, a couple of tables. I don't care. He's just trapped LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre gets the title. Um, Big match, yeah, big match, and yeah, Drew McIntyre wins the WWE Championship on the Royal Rumble, which is really big that this match happened because in my 2025, the main event was Cody Rhodes versus the final boss, The Rock, for the WWE Championship, and the final boss won, and so the WWE Championship once again changes hands at the Royal Rumble. The next match is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Like I was saying, Tiffany Stratton has been feuding. Like her and the Mingles have been feuding with Damage Control, and with the other Mingles and all the other Damage Control members being a part of the Royal Rumble. So oh my God, where's Tiffy? The champion Tiffy is defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against pretty much the final member of Damage Control that she hasn't defeated yet, and it's Sasha Banks. And in this match, Sasha Banks wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton has a really good Women's Intercontinental Championship run. She pretty much defends against all of Damage Control except for Sasha. Sasha somehow gets the pin. I think it's just plot armor at the PLE plot armor. But on top of that, Sasha Banks is a big name, big main event, a big deal. I'm not saying Tiffy isn't. Not saying the other Damage Control members isn't, but I think it's really important to put a title onto Sasha Banks just so she doesn't do another 2022 and walk out again. So Sasha Banks wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and then we have the Men's Royal Rumble, and the winner here. Can you guess it? I'm sorry guys, I don't have a list. I just have the winner. And it's Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker destroys everyone in the Rumble. Did you not remember? Braun Breaker was supposed to win the 2026 Royal Rumble. I had him in the final 2 to 3. It was him versus AJ. He eliminates AJ, but Montez Ford is still there somehow in the ring. And then the Black Mask actually, and that's another reason why the Black Mask ended up having a match with Braun Breaker at Night of Champions, because Braun Breaker had that original anger towards the Black Mask because of the Black Mask cost Braun Breaker the Royal Rumble match in 2026. The Black Mask came in and RKO'd Braun Breaker, allowing for Montez Ford to get the strength to push through the pain and finally get up and eliminate Braun Breaker. In this match, Braun Breaker wins, which is really good. And at the end of the match, this is the main event of the night. And at the end of the match, Braun Breaker calls out and says he doesn't wait. He doesn't wait for a Raw. He doesn't wait for a SmackDown. He calls out and says, "I want Drew McIntyre at the main event of WrestleMania." After watching Drew cowardly beat LA Knight for the title. And because, like I said, Drew McIntyre, it was smart, but it was, he didn't fully defeat LA Knight. And poor LA Knight, a lot. Also, yeah. Yeah, and so Braun Breaker also leading into WrestleMania has this deal where he's like, he feels really bad now, because remember, he's just made himself a part of the Monster Dogs, the tag team of him and Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman's like, hey, I'm cool, bro, you do you just won the Royal Rumble, I'm cool, I'm chilling on the sideline, it's okay. As opposed to Dawkins when Montez Ford won the Rumble, and Dawkins and Montez Ford ended up going into a feud, and Dawkins felt betrayed. Braun Strowman, he's been in the tag team division. He's been in the mid card, in the main event division, whatever, singles, whatever. He's okay with this. So Bron Breakker wins and calls out Drew McIntyre. Next up is the Elimination Chamber in February. Now, going on, we have and I haven't really done much with them in 2026. I apologize so much, guys. This is Bloodline. That's all it's called, is Bloodline, the new Bloodline, whatever. Remember, they were, an issue, whatever. And they have this thing going on when Solo Sikoa. Oh my god, I am so sorry, guys. They had this thing going on throughout SummerSlam to the end of the year. I didn't even put any of the matches down in the video. 2026 part 5, 6, 7, whatever onwards. I'm so sorry, guys. Solo Sikoa with his Timu bloodline, if you'll call it. Him, Jacob Fatu, and then I think it was Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa at the time. Obviously, JC Mateo and Toa Tonga aren't in this yet, whatever. So Solo Sikoa was the Intercontinental Championship, and on episodes of Raw, they had this thing, they called it this gimmick called the Tribal Wheel. It was like, like the mystery thing that they get the Royal Rumble, when they do the Royal Rumble participant and surprises, whatever, entrance number things, crap, mystery wheel, whatever, backstage promos. They do something like that, and it's like a tribal wheel, and it shows, who faces off against, who Soul has to defend the Intercontinental Championship against on episodes of Monday Night Raw. Sometimes it's Otis, sometimes it's, it was Damien when Damien was on Raw before he lost the World Tag Team titles, etc., etc. And things get a bit tense, and between the Rumble and the Chamber, Adam Pearce is like, I want you to defend this title. And anyway, they do whatever. They do the next Mondays, they do the tribal wheel, and Solo Sikoa pulls out a piece of paper and he reads it and he goes berserk. And he's like, well, what the hell is this? He goes berserk, he goes around backstage flipping tables, and they find out the next Raw that the thing that he grabbed, the piece of paper, instead of having an opponent's name on it, the tribal, because they treat this tribal wheel as some sort of big deal. It's a big deal. Some, like, not religious, but it's important to their family's culture in this faction, whatever. And they have to verse whoever's on the piece of paper. And the piece of paper that Solo Sikoa pulls out says the Elimination Chamber. And Solo's like, who the hell put this in there? And I think Jacob B's the one to say, hey, I put it in there. And Solo's like, why? Why the hell would you do that? And Jacob's like, so you get the opportunity to defend. I think it'd be really cool to defend it at the Chamber. And then this kind of builds some tension against Jacob and Solo. But so essentially, the men's Intercontinental Championship is being defended in the Elimination Chamber. So let's go to the Elimination Chamber. The opening match is literally the men's Elimination Chamber match. Hey, Elimination Chamber Perth. Nice. Anyway, so the Defender, obviously being in it. I went over entrance and pod entrance number. I don't have match highlights like I did for the 2026 Elimination Chamber. Now, I think it's really cool. Like I said with the female chamber last year, I think it's really cool having a title defended in the chamber. It's really cool. So we have Solo Sikoa, pretty much random. He's defending his Intercontinental Championship in this match. We also have Cody Rhodes making for the chamber. I think Cody Rhodes being in the Elimination Chamber is a huge deal. I want him to do a lot better in this chamber than what he actually did in the real life 2026 Elimination Chamber. I was not a fan of him. I get it. Drew got involved and cost him the match, whatever. Without that, I just feel like Cody Rhodes could have done a lot more. I mean, he's a main eventer in the chamber. It would be really cool to see him. We also have, and also remember, this is Cody Rhodes now trying to be babyface, so he's earning himself back up into somewhat of the main event scene or whatever he finds himself in. He's dropped the tag team title. Remember the world. Remember the owner in this PLE, because Cody dropped him when he turned on Brock. Um, we also have Trick Williams. I think I had him in the last year's Elimination Chamber. I didn't give him much of a year. Like I said, I also when I did this not long after I did 2020, the 2026 storyline, guys. So when I did 2027, it was still halfway through 2025 when I made this list for 2027. And so, really, like I said back then, I didn't watch NXT. I knew Trick Williams was a big deal, but I didn't watch NXT back then. And so, at this point in time, a good chunk of the NXT stars, I might have them in have them in a spot, a filler spot in the chamber in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But I don't give them a proper, storyline yet. So I do apologize for that, but I do put Trick in here. We also have Gunther in here. He was in obviously last year's chamber as well, and he may have even been in the 2025 chamber as well. Remember, this is for the Intercontinental Champion, so obviously there's some people that could be from SmackDown, and then they have to what am I saying? Then they will move to Raw to win if they do win the Intercontinental Championship. Look at this! Look at this bum. El Grande Americano. Oh my god, I do have Eric Rowan representing the White Six. I think it's really important. I think this would be really cool having him in his, especially in that rabbit gear and that hammer in the chamber match. Obviously, he won't really. I don't know if he'll use the hammer in the match or not. But obviously, during his entrance, the lights will go off. It'll be like the White Six theme, and he'll enter the chamber. A big hitter like that in the match would be fantastic, going for the Intercontinental Championship. And then I've also got remember, CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to double check if they're in this game. Or just check. Check. Oh yeah, Finn Balor. There we go. Obviously he's in the game anyway. Big deal. Finn Balor in the chamber is really nice. I haven't seen him in a while. Eric Rowan, you know, I think this is an interesting chamber match. It's definitely one of the weaker ones since the last 2 years are probably the best chamber matches of all time. It's my 2026 one and 2025 one. Remember the 2025 one? My 2025 Elimination Chamber had John Cena in it, and so that was obviously a big deal. 2026 one was a big deal. I think this one's just an interesting one. It looks obviously weaker, but it's got the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Um, it's got some different style, but the main thing I like about this chamber and the Money in the Bank ladder matches is that you get to see different wrestlers interact with each other that don't get to interact with each other. Um, and yeah, and so literally all these people are actually on Raw. I just realized, but anyway. Um, and the winner here is Solo Sikoa. Somehow he manages to retain the championship, but that is because he is the final person out of the pods. Cody Rhodes does the most work on this. Cody Rhodes eliminates Eric, Gunther, and Finn, and Solo eliminates Trick and Cody. This is the opening match to the Elimination Chamber. Next, a singles match for the Women's United States Championship match. And so we have obviously the defender, Charlotte Flair, and she's defending it against one of my personal favorite wrestlers of this current era over the last few years, Raquel Rodriguez. I think this is. We have Charlotte Flair, we have Raquel Rodriguez. I really want a title scene of my girl Raquel to be, and essentially does retain on. Raquel does get a bit of a for the World Tag Team titles. This is, I think it's 4 tag teams going at each other. Oh, this is going to be hard. 4 and 4. 4-way tornado tag. This is what I want. So remember, no one is defending these titles. So we have the. Oh, well, I apologize about the chamber match because Trick Williams is also in this match. He's teaming up with his boy Carmelo Hayes. Obviously, they had their feud, whatever, in 2024 in NXT, whatever. But um, no, they become allies on this. You know what? Trick Williams can be in 2 matches on this PLE. So Trick Williams is in 2 matches. He's in the chamber and he's in the tag team match, which is crazy. Next up, we have the Islanders. That's what I called the Team with Bloodline. I call them the Islanders. And so we have Tomatonga and Tongaloa. Tomatonga, Tongaloa. We have the War Raiders. So we have Ivar, Eric, and then we have the Creed brothers. Remember, they went against Cody and Brock for the World Tag Team titles, and then eventually led to the Cody versus Chad Gable feud. If I can find my boy Brutus Creed and Julius Creed. This, as you can imagine, is mayhem. This kind of looks like the tag team championship match. It wasn't even a tag team championship match, actually. Sorry, the tag team four-way tornado tag that happened at WrestleMania 39. One of the fantastic match, underrated as hell. Please, no one forget that match. This match kind of looks like that inside the chamber. Like, this could literally be at the WrestleMania. This is hectic. This is crazy. Remember, this is for the Raw tag team titles. And the Islanders, Tomatonga and Tongaloa win this match. Trick Williams and Hayes get close, but then Trick, obviously weak because of the chamber, actually gets pinned by Tomatonga. So that is the end of that match. And then the main event of the night. Oh, sorry, there's one more match before the women's chamber match. We have a feud going on here with Jey Uso defending his United States Championship. Remember, he's the United States Championship. And he has this feud going on against a bounty hunter. There's this new gimmick going on. Bro's not in the game, is he? Oh, no, he is. Aleister Black. No, because the Black Mask, he's somewhat sort of relevant still, lost the whatever championship, whatever. But what he's done is he sent out a bounty. He's a bounty man, and so the Black Mask is getting paid to try and take out Jey, because the Black Mask for some reason wants to deal with Jey because of obviously Roman and Seth. Because Roman and Seth are now, Seth's now part of the OG bloodline, and obviously they went against the Black Mask. So this is payback. The Black Mask is wanting a hit on Jey, and he wants Aleister. So Aleister Black has been trying to attack Jey. And we have, at the Elimination Chamber, we have Jey Uso versus Aleister Black for the Men's United States Championship. And essentially, the match ends in a DQ, no winner, because what happens is some of the Black Masks, remember, the Black Mask has an army of servants in the black outfits and the Black Mask. They come out and actually help Aleister, and what they do is they just pretty much cause mayhem and just beat the living hell out of Jey. There's just like a big bunch of them, and they pin Jey down, beat him up, allow Aleister Black to keep attacking Jey. And so even though Aleister Black didn't win the United States Championship, he did beat the life out of Jey. So there you go. That's the United States Championship match. And then we have the women's chamber match main eventing the night, which I think is pretty cool. And this is to see who will face Naomi at WrestleMania for the Women's WWE Championships, because Naomi is a WWE Championship. We have a few nice names in here. We have Tiffany Stratton. After all, she just lost the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and she feels like she wants to get back in the main title picture. After all, she lost the women's WWE title after not long of having it back in 2025 against Charlotte Flair. She cashed in her bank right after the Raw or SmackDown after Chamber, holds it for like a month and a bit, and then loses it to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. We have Tiffany Stratton in here. We do have. I need it to be female, don't I? Oh, Nikki Bella is definitely not it because she's the women's world heavyweight champion. Who, by the way, Zelina Vega picked. So Zelina Vega is going against the famous Nikki Bella for the women's world heavyweight championship at WrestleMania. We have Rhea Ripley in here as well. Rhea Ripley wants some gold back. She had a complicated year last year. She lost her title at WrestleMania, then went on to win the Queen of the Ring. She became the Queen of the Ring, and then her opportunity got screwed over because of Carmella and Sasha Banks. A big deal. We do have in this match, I do have representing Damage Control, I do have Io Sky. Obviously, like I said, the big two woman factions are the Mean Girls and Damage Control. They're a big deal. So we have Io Sky. We do have. Remember, Jay just lost her title, but she's not in this match. We have. Sorry, guys. I have like 3 or 4 people down, but I haven't got all. But anyway. We have. Oh, look, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, Liv Morgan. What am I doing? Liv Morgan is definitely in this match. And, Stephanie Bacquet. Remember, she's slowly getting that main event push. Why is it? There you go. I like that one. I don't know why it shows like that. And and the final person in this match. I am just scrolling ahead, aren't I? Whoops, on my list here, guys. I'm so sorry about that. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. It also has Jada Parker. This is arguably one of the most stacked Women's Elimination Chamber matches as well. Jada Parker is in this match because remember, she's no longer in the tag team division because she just got attacked by, she Kiana let her get attacked by the Kabuki Warriors. So Jada's, obviously in here, she wants to deal with Io Sky because Io Sky is a part of Damage Control, Kabuki Warriors are a part of Damage Control, etc., etc. There's also, like I said, Tiffy and Io going at war. Rhea Ripley's the main eventer. We have Stephanie Bacquet putting herself in the main event scene. Imagine her doing a devil's kiss to Rhea Ripley, to Tiffy, Liv Morgan, like, beautiful. However, the first two starting the match out of the pods. So the 4 women in the pods are Liv Morgan, Tiffy, Rhea, and Stephanie. The 2 starting the match are Io and Jada. But just like what happens at the start of the 2025 Women's Elimination Chamber match, before the gate even closes, Kiana actually comes out and just starts randomly attacking Jada, and then just pretty much destroys her, and then allows for Io to get the pin. Kiana is not at any way a part of Damage Control, but Kiana has this war with Jada. And so Jada Parker's just cost from the beginning. And then the next one out of the pods is Stephanie Bacquet, then Rhea Ripley, then Liv, then Tiffy. And the winner of this match is Rhea Ripley by pinning Stephanie Bacquet. So Stephanie Bacquet goes far into this match. It's her versus Rhea in the end. And Rhea Ripley wins and goes on to face Naomi for the Women's WWE Championship at WrestleMania. The following Raw, a couple of Raws after Elimination Chamber, we have Cora Jade going against Sasha Banks for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, something happens here, guys. So during the Rumble, so actually something did important happen during the Royal Rumble. There was an instance during the Royal Rumble when someone was going to attack Dakota Kai, being a part of Damage Control, and Dakota Kai moved out of the way, and then Io Sky was behind her. Obviously, Io Sky, you know, a team with Dakota Kai. Io is a part of Damage Control. Io then gets the hit. Can't remember who damaged her, who hurt her. So Io gets hurt badly, and it's Dakota Kai's fault because Dakota moved out of the way. Dakota did not know that Io was behind her, and then Io Sky's in the hospital, and like the following rules, and Sasha Banks is like, we've like all the Damage Control, collect, there's still Sasha Banks, so the Raw after Royal Rumble is pretty big, with the Damage Control. We have Sasha Banks addressing everyone because she's now, her celebration being the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And then there's Dakota Kai, who's awkward in the group, and then there's the Kabuki Warriors, who are still the Women Tag Team Champs, remember? And the first thing that happens is they address, obviously the celebration of the Women's IC title, but then they talk about how Sasha has said, Io Sky, being the leader of the group, has sent me a message, and that is to, and I pretty much kick Dakota Kai out of the group because Io is this full-blown heel at this point in time and in charge. And even though she's not there in person, she's in hospital, she's sent this order. And so the Kabuki Warriors and Sasha Banks just then start beating the hell out of Dakota Kai, and she's kicked out of Damage Control. And so the Raw after Elimination Chamber, or a Raw after, or two Raws after, we have Sasha Banks defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Cora Jade, and it results in no winner happening because the Dakota Kai returns and intervenes during the match, full on attacking Sasha, beating the hell out of Sasha. And then Cora Jade's like, hold up, you just cost me my match. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for that. Let me just check the timing. We're at 37. We're only at 37 minutes. I reckon we can go straight into WrestleMania, guys. This is massive because through my 2026, WrestleMania wasn't until part 3. This is crazy. We'll see. We'll try to get through all of it. Also, actually, I will go over one thing first. Okay, let me do this first. The Chamber, the Friday Night SmackDown after Elimination Chamber is a Judgment Day deal. So I can't remember if I talked about the state of the Judgment Day, but at the moment, and I can't even remember how I got to this, Finn and JD left, and Raquel wasn't a part of Judgment Day up at this point. Oh no, she was, sorry. And so we had 4 members in the Judgment Day, being Dawn, JD and Finn left. So it is, I'm so sorry guys, let me get a hold of myself. What am I doing? Penta is a part of Damage Control. I can't remember how he got part of Judgment Day. I can't actually remember how. He's in here, and then there's also Dom, Dirty Dom. Okay, maybe we might not be able to cover WrestleMania in this video. I'll do it in the next one. Then there is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Carlito had a retirement match at a Backlash, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's this year or not, or if it's already happened. If I gone too far, no, I haven't. Okay, Raquel Rodriguez. Anyway, so this is the Judgment. This is what happens. There is a wedding after SmackDown. This is the wedding for Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. There's a wedding segment. We haven't seen like a comedic segment like this for a long time. Remember, this is the original Judgment Day: Penta, Dom, Liv, and Raquel. And the whole reason why Penta's kind of, I think the reason why Penta teams up with the Judgment Day is just for the sake of Dom needing a tag team partner to feud against Jimmy and Sammy with the tag team titles. And Dom's kind of using Penta in a way, but Penta's just it's kind of like Dom's like, look, I need you to help me deal with Jimmy and Sammy or whatever. And Penta's like, sure, but then I need to be a part of the Judgment Day. Then Penta walks off. And so Dom doesn't even get to say no. Penta's just putting himself in the Judgment Day, whatever. It's kind of awkward, but Dom allows it. So this is the Judgment Day. And it's the wedding. So we have Dom and Liv getting married. We have like a wedding cake, a wedding ceremony, and Dom's put Penta on security. So security is backstage or around the ring. So Dom's just like Penta's just either around the ring or he's backstage. I can't remember. I think he's backstage super because Dom was like, I don't want anyone coming out and it costing me my wedding, ruining my wedding. And so Penta's like, yeah, okay, I'll do anything for you because I love you. No, and he doesn't say I love you, but I'll do whatever. So Penta is now backstage being security. We have the wedding, and I think Carlito is the priest or whatever that like does the vow, like announces the vows, whatever. Raquel's there in the audience, whatever. We have Liv, we have Dom, and and remember Jimmy and remember I said at the end of 2026, Jimmy and Sammy have been feuding with Dom and Judgment Day because first Dom attacked Jimmy and it put Sammy at risk, and then Jay and Naomi was standing up for Jimmy by going after Dom and Liv in that epic mixed tag team gender match. And then we had, the single matches, and then Dom ended up pinning Jimmy, and then Dom wanted some help, so he's gotten Penta involved. Anyway, so there's been a massive feud going on, and so there's a massive wedding cake, and Dom got Penta to organize a chef for the cake, whatever, a cake maker, whatever. And so they go get married, and they go to kiss, whatever. It's kind of beautiful, it's kind of cute, it's kind of lovely. And then, actually, no, right before they do, actually, they get really close to doing it, kissing, whatever. And then there's like, the priest goes, I don't want to object. And then there's this voice, I object. And Dom and Liv, like, looking around, like, who the hell was that? And then out of nowhere, Jimmy pops out of the big life-size wedding cake, and then guys still covered in cake attacks Dom and shoves the cake and smudges it all over Dom and Liv, and Jimmy just starts beating the hell out of Dom, and then it's the funniest thing, and then like that's the end of the segment, and then the following SmackDown, Dom's like, where the hell were you, Penta? And Penta was like, I'm sorry, you asked me to be backstage making sure no one else got in the ring. And then Dom's like, well, who the hell did you organize to be the cake maker? Because the cake maker had Jimmy inside. And then someone comes up and it's Sammy, and Sammy's like, I was the cake maker. And then Sami Zayn just attacks Dom. It's just this funny promo that's been going on since, late 2026, now going into the first few months of 2027. Like this whole wedding, they do officially get married. They end up kissing or whatever, signing the contract, whatever, like the marriage certificate. But yeah, and so there's this funny as massive build up. Dom and Liv get married, which is cute. But Jimmy and Dom intervene and ruined the wedding afterwards or whatever. I don't know, during the wedding, whatever. Blah blah blah. Anyway, that's hilarious. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is 2027 part 1. I've gone over a lot. I've gone over the men's chamber match, Intercontinental Championship. We went over the Royal Rumbles. Obviously what happened with damage control in the Rumble and how Dakota Kai got kicked out. We have the continuation of the feud between the two big female factions of Damage Control and the Mean Girls. The Mean Girls being the biggest female faction in the company right now, I guess. And yeah, the Royal Rumble winner was Zelina Vega. She picked Nikki Bella, so she's facing Nikki Bella for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and Rhea Ripley won the Chamber, going after Naomi for the Women's WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Solo Sikoa defended his Intercontinental Championship at the Chamber successfully, so he's still the IC champion, and the Royal Rumble winner was Bron Breakker, who's now picking to go after Drew, who Drew won the WWE title in a TLC match against LA Knight. Remember, Drew McIntyre's the heel in that instance, LA Knight is the babyface, whatever. And, Bron Breakker's chosen to go after Drew. So the next video, we'll smash through WrestleMania and hopefully Backlash as well. We have a massive WrestleMania planned. So yeah, stay tuned for that one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are really enjoying this. Make sure you try stuff today. I really hope someone's actually watching these and going back through my 2025, 2026, and hopefully 2027. The stories are getting better, I promise. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2. Peace.